Good morning friends, I welcome you to in this session Ind AS 8 accounting policy, change in accounting estimate and errors. Errors means prior period errors. So in this topic is very small to discuss, but it is very important because of error involves how to make the corrections, how to make the accounting treatments for the change in accounting estimates and the policies. So I think it should be a interesting topic for you as well. And in my last two topics, Ind AS 17 and Ind AS 106, I have already covered. So I hope you like that sessions. So without wasting any time, let's begin the session. So friends, in this topic I covered major area of related to this Ind AS. So first of all, I prepared one slide related to the introduction of the accounting principles, prior period errors and the accounting estimates. Then we will discuss about the concept of the accounting policies. Next step, concept of the accounting estimates, concept of prior period periods, means it will in all three topics I have included the accounting treatment and the selection criteria for accounting policies, and what is the impact if there is any change in accounting estimates. And disclosure requirement, it consists of all three topics: accounting policy disclosure requirement, accounting estimate disclosure requirement, and prior period errors disclosure requirements. So before starting the topic, first of all we will discuss about what is the objective to implement this Ind AS 8. So as we know very well that the statement of profit and loss and the balance sheet is used by many of users to analyze their economic decisions. So it is very necessary for each and every user to compare the accounting policies to check the what is the impact of the change in accounting estimates, if any error founded in the prior periods, so what should be the accounting treatment and how to management deal these type of errors in his financial statement. So this is the main objective of this Ind AS 8. So first of all, 1.1 introduction accounting policies. So what are the accounting policies? Means accounting policies means some specific principles, method, rules and practice followed by the entity or a management in preparing and presenting their financial statements. Like for example, just take if we are doing a valuation of inventory, so there are to suppose a company is following the first in first out method for valuation of inventory, but it wants to change his accounting policies, means it wants to convert his changes method by FIFO to weighted average method. So what should be the treatment? This type of things we will discuss. Second example I have given that revaluation model and cost model for property, plant and equipment. This is also one of the type of the accounting policies we cover in this session. Now what are the prior period errors? So the prior period errors are some type of errors related to the earlier period but which is discovered in this current year period. So it may be the omission or omission from the financial statements, any particular type of information which is very reliable information but not used by the management, any misstatement in the financial statement which is related to one or more prior period. So this will also cover in this prior period errors. So what type of reliable information we can say? Means these are available at the time of the prior period, but management did not take proper care or did not make a complete decision on this type of information. So these are common to exist in the current periods, so we call it as a prior period adjustment. So what type of these? Like mathematical mistakes in the accounting policies, okay, for implementation of the policies, or misinterpretation or misdescriptions of the facts available on that time. So these type of errors are called the prior period errors. Second, you may also include the frauds, also one type of prior period errors. Now come what are the accounting estimates? So accounting estimates, you can say the item which can be measured accurately at that point of time, and entity has to make judgment to estimate the value of some particular items for which data is not available at that time. For example, useful life of property, plant and equipment, tangible assets. So we have to ascertain, we have to estimate what should be the life what should be the useful life of that, warranty related obligations. So management has to make the judgment to estimate this value of the items. That's why this type of changes, this type of estimates are called accounting estimates, because this reflected in our financial reflect in our financial statement. These items also liable to adjust our assets and liabilities and equity during the current period. So this is the one of the most important part of preparation in accounting financial statements. So in topic 2, concepts of accounting policies. So here in this slide we will discuss about the what should be our selection of the accounting policies, what should be the consistency of the accounting policies, and if there is any change in accounting policies, so what step we have to take on. So first of all, for the selection of any particular accounting policies, there are 3 different methods. First, if a particular transactions treatment is already defined in a particular Ind AS, so we have to apply that Ind AS because it is more relevant for it in respect of that transactions. Second, if there is not any applicable Ind AS, so management uses judgment to determine and apply the accounting policies based on the 2 criteria. First, relevance of the information, how important that information is. Second, the reliability. Reliability may be the combination of the you can say completeness, reliability of the data, faithfulness of the representation made by the management. So this type of attributes we have to include and we have to analyze while assessing any particular information. Second is, if IASB means International Accounting Standard Body has issued any latest pronouncement regarding their transaction treatment, so we have to follow the definition, recognition criteria and management concept based on the pronouncement of the IASB. Second, consistency of accounting policy. It means that it is expected from the every entity or organization that it follow the accounting policies consistently for similar transactions. But sometimes it may be happen that Ind AS require or permit the categorization of item for which different policy may be appropriate. So in that case we can make the categorization of these items, but while making the categorizations in any particular items, we have to be clear about the selection and the application of the each accounting policy consistently. Okay, so these things we have to remember while applying or selecting any accounting policies. Okay, so in this slide we will discuss the changes in accounting policies, means 2.1 concept of accounting policy. We here we include the changes in the accounting policies, what are the situation in which we have to apply these things. Second is what is the accounting treatment for changing accounting policies. So first of all, the management should make the changes in their accounting policies if any Ind AS requirement says that. So it is mandatory for each and every organization. But if company wants to make their financial statement more presentable and the information provided by the management in this financial statement should be more reliable and relevant, then in case we have to make the changes in our accounting policy. It may be voluntary. Second thing, the change in what should be the accounting treatment, and what are the changes which is not considered as a change in accounting policies. It means if first time application of an accounting policy to newly occurring event. It means that if first time something is happened first time in the entities, and it may apply first time such type of accounting policy, so this does not consider as a accounting policy changes. Second thing is that the application of the accounting policy for the transactions that is differ from those previously occurrence. In that case it does not consider as a change in accounting policies. What should be the accounting treatment? Suppose a new Ind AS implemented or issued by the IASB. In that case they definitely give us the explain some transitional provisions by making the changes from our existing accounting policies to the new accounting policy defined in the new Ind AS. But if you don't have any transitional provision, so we have to make the changes retrospectively. What does it mean? Retrospectively applications means by applying the new accounting policy to the transactions, events or conditions, it as if it has been applied from the earlier. Okay, what does it mean? It means the opening balance of each affected items in sense of equity, in sense of liability, assets. So we have to make the adjustment in our earlier prior period and the comparative amount as if the new policy had always been applied. In that case, we have to make, so we can say this is the accounting treatment. But sometimes it is not practicable to make the changes, or you can say by effectively implement such changes of the accounting policies in our prior period items. So in that case, we have to make the reasonable efforts, or we have to make the disclosure. We have to present in disclosure what are the facts under which we are not able and it is not practicable for the management to imply such type of changes retrospectively. Okay, so these things we have to consider. So, and you can say second thing, what are the changes impact due to this change in accounting policy. So we will discuss in the next slide. Okay, so change in accounting policies 2.2. so here I mentioned with what amount we have to make adjustment in which items. So the change in accounting policy retrospective application process, cumulative adjustment in the carrying amount of the assets and liability. It means we have to make the adjustment of the assets or liability which has affected due to change in this accounting policies. So this adjustment we have to make in the opening balance of the respective equity component, mostly is retained earning, and second the assets or liability items which affected due to change in this accounting policy with their prior period and their comparative informations. Okay, second thing, retrospective application shall be applied when it is practical to apply. It means whenever it is practical for the management to apply these changes into their financial statement, so it may go ahead. Otherwise, he has to make the disclosure by showing the fact due to showing his impracticability about the make the changes in due to accounting policies. For example, suppose there is a change in valuation of inventory method by way of FIFO to weighted average method. So company has a record available related to the inventory for 2 years, last 2 years, but the comparative of this financial statement has been shown by the company related to 5 years. So there is a 3-year gap. So what it's showing the impracticability. So company has to consider those facts and disclose these things in their notes of account due to by showing the impracticability of to implement these type of changes. Topic number 3, concept of accounting estimates. I mentioned earlier what are the accounting estimates. So accounting estimate means sometime it may happen for the management that many items cannot be measured accurately. So for that management make his own judgment and come out with the estimate value of those items. So these are called accounting estimates, and these estimates are based on some event or the circumstances. That's why if there are any changes in those event or the circumstances, so there we could say that this is are the change in the accounting estimates. Okay, these changes accounting estimate cannot be considered as a correction of errors. Okay, secondly, these are the changes in the respective items of the in which these changes has been applied prospectively. It means we need to make the accounting treatment retrospectively because it will be affect our future period also, and it is also applicable for our current period also. Okay, suppose sometimes this happens, there is a change in a measurement. So change in a measurement, it does not consider as a accounting estimate, change in accounting estimate. It consider as a change in accounting policies, because For example, if as I given earlier, if a person who is applying FIFO method currently and now move to the weighted average method, so it is called the change in the measurement. So because it is completely change the accounting policy, not accounting estimate, so that's why change in the measurement is called the change in accounting policies sometimes. Okay, second thing, what should be the accounting treatment? The accounting treatment is this: effect of change in accounting estimate recognized prospectively in profit and loss account, and its offset would be made with the corresponding line items either in assets or a liability which affected due to such change in accounting estimates. Second thing, any reversal of the provision of the item expenditure should be set off against their relevant respective expenses line items. Okay, so this is the change in accounting estimates. Topic number 4, concept of prior period errors means prior period errors are corrected retrospectively. It means we have to make the changes from those prior period in which these errors are related. Okay, sometimes it's happened that we are not able to we don't have such financial data that we can make the changes, so we have to make the changes from those period for which we have a reliable data. Okay, second thing, correction shall be made in the first financial statement approved after finding of that error. It means we have to make the correction in first time in those financial statement which are related to that period in which we have find that error. Okay, so what are the correction process? If it is related to the last period, so we have to make the adjustment in our comparative informations. If it is related to before the last period, so we have to make the adjustment in our opening balances of that information available. Means reliable information up to that extent is available, we have to make the adjustment on those balances. So we can say it is a retrospective treatment. Point number 5, disclosure of financial statement of the accounting policies. So here I divided our disclosure into 3 different slides. First is related to accounting policies, second relates to accounting estimate, and third is related to prior period errors. So let's discuss first. So 5, disclosing the financial statement for accounting policies. So management has to disclose the nature of the change in the policies for current period and the earlier prior period, presented the amount of adjustment related to each line items affected. Second thing, amount for the adjustment relating to the period before those presented. So means they have to disclose all the chain of adjustment related to the prior period items for each line items. Second thing, if retrospective restatement is not practicable, so it has to disclose what are those circumstances which insist to which make the compulsion for the management to not apply these changes. Okay, and second, it has to management has a responsibility to describe how and from when these changes has been applied. So it has to give the explanation. Second thing, in case of voluntary change in accounting policies, so management has to give the reason why a new policy provide more relevant and reliable informations. Okay, second thing, if when entities has not applied new Ind AS that has been issued, but it should disclose what is the title of the new Ind AS, what is the discussion impact of the Ind AS expected to have on when initially applied, and date on which it is planned to apply these Ind AS. So this is some extra disclosure has to make by the management. So 5.1, disclosure in financial statement of accounting estimates. It does not require more disclosure, but first of all entity has to show or disclose that the nature of the change in estimates. Second thing, amount of the adjustment of each affected period and the line items of the financial statement. Second thing, it has to explain if it is not possible to estimate the effect on the future period, then fact must be disclosed. If suppose the company is not able to disclose the what should be the impact of this accounting change in this accounting estimated in our future period items. So it has to disclose the facts due to non possibility of the estimates. Okay. Third, as I mentioned, the nature and the amount of change is estimate expected to affect in future period. Second, and it's second, the last one, facts shall be disclosed in case of non-practicability to estimate for the future period. So these are the complementary of each other, these 2 points, last 2 points. Okay. So 5.2 disclosure in financial statement for the prior period errors. So first of all, same nature of accounting error or prior period error, and for each period prior period presented, amount of correction related to each line item affected. Okay. And in case retrospective adjustment is not practicable, so define those circumstances which are exist on the day which make the compulsion for the management to not to make retrospective restatement. Okay. And management has also described how and the from when such error has been corrected. Okay. It has to specify the name and amount quantity, and disclose the procedure management has followed for that corrections. Second, financial statement of the subsequent period will not repeat this type of disclosure. Okay, means this is the only disclosure for the particular current period in which this accounting error has been corrected. Okay, so we does not require to make the disclosure in subsequent period because that is not related to that period. So guys, that's all. So that's all from my side. So I hope I try to explain each and every aspect of this Ind AS for you and make you more simpler to understand the concept of the Ind AS 8. And for next session we will discuss about Ind AS 10, which is related to the our events after the reporting period, one of the most important Ind AS. Second thing, I forget to disclose that Ind AS 8 is applicable for each and every entity because it does not have any applicability criteria, and Ind AS does not define any scope like some standards have described the scope also. So we will discuss in our next session event after reporting period. Till then, thank you so much, enjoy, and if I do any mistake, if there are any misunderstanding, so you can mail me and drop a mail on my email ID I have mentioned in that slide. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.